And you look around and you see Tara and you see Vanta, and you look around and you see the Leviathan is just not moving anymore.
You killed it.
Yeah.
You open your mouth and say something.
What's your
Can I like signal
Vanta.
like
hang on,
to hold on to me?
hang on to Griselda.
We can't see
And
each
we
other.
can go up?
Well, I'm looking down at you. I'm looking at you.
Through
You just
ink and water.
It is
underwater.
It is still underwater and under ink.
And
dang.
she just got out.
She just got out.
Yeah.
Can I like tell them to?
You can attempt to signal for it, but because you are still an animal, you can't really communicate. So you can kind of wiggle.
Shimmy.
I try to do like heart, like with my body.
Yeah. I need some kind of signal to pull her out.
Tara is emoting. Tara is the eel is happy.
I will go up.
The eel is happy to see you and is forming a heart.
I'm gonna use my action when it's my turn to pirouette herself up the water.
All right.
Help her out.
So it is Nico's turn.
Right. The problem is I can't.
You cannot see her.
Hold your action.
Yeah. I'll, as soon as I see her, I'll levitate her out of the water.
So I'm gonna let you know you are last in initiative.
Right.
So if you hold your action, it just kind of fizzles out.
Well, I mean, I'm holding my. I'm last in initiative, but we're still, I guess, in initiative until she gets out of the water.
But holding your actions when when initiative refreshes, all held actions are gone.
Oh, at round
start, yes.
Well, I don't know.
Aren't you a giant eel?
Correct.
Yeah.
Get them to jump in your mouth and swim them out.
Not that giant.
They're
I'm
not that giant.
big.
Oh, okay.
I'm like the size of a giant.
All right. So do you pass turn?
I mean, there's gotta be something I can do.
Question for Tara. If we like hold on to you.
That's what I was trying to get
Will
you.
you,
I wasn't
like-
hugging. I wasn't doing hearts to be like,
Yeah.
yay. I was like, let's go. Hold on to me.
water.
Almost like a handlebar. Like,
And you can
yeah.
bring me to the surface.
I'm trying to. Can we do that? I don't know.
I mean, you can, but you have to. You have
swim out of the
to.
black ink.
By describing your
We're
emotes, it doesn't necessarily always translate over because eel fish body language doesn't always
Yeah.
translate
On the
over.
table, I know, but like my character's like
Yeah. I just.
strange eel.
I'm frustrated. Well, well, I did the job. I'll pass turn. Jeez.
All right. So Vanta, we are at the top of the initiative.
What should I do? Pull. What, you got an idea?
Yes, sir. Gather the crew by the rope. Start pulling up the lava, Jonathan.
Love it. Boys, start pulling the. Let's get up here and start pulling this. Start pulling the.
All right.
You know.
So Hrodric, in his happiness state, goes up to the harpoon and starts activating the reeling. Loktar grabs out some rope and throws it across some of the tentacles, and Jonathan himself takes a hook and throws it out there, grabs a hold of the body, and starts pulling it up as well. So, at the top of the turn, it is Vanta.
So I grab her, or I motion her to grab the eel, and I just help her get there.
All right, so
There we go.
everybody is able to crest the water. It is gross, ugly, stinky, bloody, and but everybody gets to take a very refreshing breath of the salty air.
Nice. Oh, is that what I wanted?
Okay, so
I break out of wild shape. Can I break out?
yes, you can break out a wild shape.
I break out of it. I'm back to me normal.
Okay. Everybody is back aboard the ship. It'll take you about an hour to secure the Leviathan. In that hour, you do notice that there are several schools of fish that are nipping at some of the chunks, and there have been you do spot a couple of sharks, so you know that it might be time to start skedaddling.
Back. Yeah.
If you want any of the Leviathan back to show for it.
I'll get the boys, get the ship, unfurl the sails, and get us back to port.
All right. So one of the things that you do know is that as you unfurl the sails, you look off back towards where you need to go. It is clear skies.
Is the other eye still intact?
The other eye is still intact.
I want to take a 10 and just carefully remove it and find a jar, just put the eye in the jar.
All right. You have a very large jar with
A barrel.
with a Leviathan eye in it.
Hell yeah. Okay.
As you make your way back, everybody is able to take the time for a long rest. Everybody heals back up, and as you pull back into port, sure enough, there is in the port of Luskin. You do see the little halfling again, and he looks and he sees the colors of your sails, and he makes a little jump as he's looking around. After everybody parks and everything else, the dock hands on the opposite dock are looking at your new quarry that you have captured. And the halfling says, there he goes, "Oh, I see you've pulled it. That is so amazing. Please, you need to go tell Helen."
Hey, big ups to Hrodric, the Leviathan Slayer.
Frederick the Leviathan Slayer, you say? Oh, we will make sure to note that down for the town crier. He starts scribbling furiously on his tablet.
And then I kind of like smack him. I'm like, no, it was the crew that Frederick is with. If you could please anecdote that properly.
What in the hell?
And he keeps just
If I hadn't
scribbling.
heard it would have fallen to the ocean.
Yes.
It was the
And Frederick just like,
Your lines.
Your lies.
It was a group effort.
it was the Alliance.
All right. So you make your way back up to Helen, and Helen, I see that you have brought in the Leviathan. That is proof enough for me. Pulls out a hefty sack of gold, sets it down, and goes, "Congratulations. Perhaps our sinking town may not be fully under the water thanks to the help of the Alliance. Please, tell the Commissioner of Waterdeep that you have my thanks."
I lean in and I ask, what is the market value for a large Leviathan eye that's still intact?
She gets a little grin, knowing what it is that you're referring to, and goes, "Aye, maybe you'll find yourself a tradesman somewhere in a more prosperous town.
Sure.
I feel that perhaps Neverwinter will have somebody that deals in oddities and proclivities such as what you are mentioning.
Okay. I write it down. Neverwinter.
But anywho, and the sack is too heavy for her to toss, and she says, like I said, tell the Commissioner of Waterdeep that you have my thanks."
I reach for the sack, grab it,
Scraping against the
scraping
base.
it, nodding to all of you, knowing I'm a fair captain. We will distribute equally.
Would you like to hold that? You're quite strong.
Look at the Leviathan.
Yes, I would. And she'll like heave it up and hold it above her head.
All right. As you are holding it above your head, Helen looks at you and says, "As the captain, I may inquire, do you have use for the Leviathan's meat?"
I was about to ask that. Its hide looks like it could make a great pair of boots. But it would look kind of gnarly.
Perhaps it can.
I imagine your town's been suffering.
Our town has been suffering.
Are you in need of food?
The meat would do a very wondrous job of keeping the townsfolk happy.
What?
Then
Perhaps the bringing of the Feast of a Leviathan would make the dock workers happy as well.
A feast.
Is that a nasty thing?
I think we should have a celebration.
A celebration feast it is. I will alert the proper people. And she stands up, opens up the door behind, or the window behind her desk, leans down, and who here speaks Celestial?
Nope.
You hear her shout something in a very, for as loud as she's shouting, it's really interesting to hear it so lilting, and she shouts something down and you hear something respond back. And she sits back down and goes, We'll see to it. And with that, the dockworkers have themselves a wondrous feast. Everybody is celebratory. The Council of Waterdeep's Merchants Guild has has made a note of your activities, and we will end the session right there with an additional 500 gold. Cool.
And some calamari.
And some calamari.
MVP to almost becoming Leviathan food.
Yes. All right.
I'll be sleeping with the fish.
So, as is tradition, I like to do a thing called Stars and Wants. At the end of every session, I like to ask everybody around the table for their stars and their wants. A star is anything that you would like to highlight, whether it be good role playing, good rolls of the dice, good actions, and you are more than allowed to have as many multiple stars. And this is a good way to bring the table some more camaraderie. And the wants is something that you would like to tell the DM that you would like to see in a later aspect, either later on in a one-shot or some form of campaign, or something that you would like to see. It could be anything from either I would like to see more ship encounters to, hey, I would like to see where you try to take us next in this, that, or the other thing, or anything that goes therefore with it. Because we know that Beth and Dan are used to this, we will start with them, and then that way you guys can have a idea of what it is that of how it goes.
Sure.
So, Beth, stars and wants.
Sweet. So I'll give the stars to those two for being the captain, the first mate. You guys did a really good job of kind of like organizing the crew and all of us. So we would not have been successful without you guys. I'll also give a star to JD because I loved your role playing. Your character was like really funny, and yeah, I really like that edgy sort of thing you got going. Wants? I want some more cool big baddies like the Leviathans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Yep.
And their reactions.
All right.
Scary shit.
All right, a star. Just the whole overall like ambience of like a ship encounter. I don't think I've ever got to play where I got to fight a Kraken or a Leviathan, so that's pretty freaking cool. For a want, I'm very excited for any heist related things that can probably happen, and I'm gonna give a star for Neko's character acting as a captain and taking responsibility for the whole crew, and a star for myself for being very terrible at hiding that he was a pirate, and it's like certain like novelties slip out
Yes.
as a character.
All right. And for you, good stuff.
Definitely a stars for Neko. Like she stepped up as like the captain. Specifically given shouting out orders, I was just like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll step back or whatever, because my character is supposed to be kind of like chaotic, but like a he does whatever the fuck he wants, but which is a good contrast. Another star to Antonio, especially because we had spoken about like implementing a little bit of himself into his character, and that could help him get through like his dialogue and stuff like that. It was very smooth, and I like how you kind of like were like very actiony, but like he still kind of like did the first mate job. Star to Dan as well, always trying to like get that extra cash for the crew.
That flavor.
Yeah, and Beth for being very how do I say very unpredictable with that her jumping into the mouth just like, all right, I'm doing it. That was pretty cool. Some stuff that I would definitely start for you for bringing that massive thing. That's cool. And I'm in agreement with Beth. I would definitely like to see a lot of big baddies like that. Maybe like some flying big baddies. You know, that'd be pretty interesting. So where we can like use the different levels of like the map and stuff.
All right.
Star is best for just full committing on the attack, and star for myself for shooting at her and killing her in the process.
Agreed.
Killing in the process. Just full commit. That's what had to happen.
The flavor.
I'll take whatever happens. And star for Dan for sticking up for her friend and being appropriately offended that I put her life in jeopardy.
Yeah.
That's Once I'll channel everybody. I want to see. I want to see more like flying, an airship instead of a ship. Kind of that. This version encounter in the sky would be insane.
I've got one of those.
Some higher level, maybe slightly higher level, and also maybe a star for just like world building, everything around it, all the small people. Obviously, Hrodric and the rest of the crewmates that are there. I mean, I assume that this is something that's like standard. You pull that out.
I wrote this myself.
Oh wow! I mean, standard is in you had pre-planned for like additional crewmates. People ask for crewmates. Yeah. Like stars for you for getting that ready, having that ready. Wants. Let me see. What else would I want? I don't know. No, that's about it. Just error counter.
All right. And you?
So firstly, I just want to say stars is for everything. I think it was a very difficult but challenging and fun tackle of this, and although we faced a lot of challenges, I think we had a really wholesome time. Individually, I love how you implemented the alcohol and the rum. I think that was such a sweet but really cool way for you to implement that. So I just want to thank you for that, because I know writing it into your story, you're so creative doing things like that. So that was really fun. And also just for like the group, you guys stayed really true to like not only like your alignment but also your personal connections and your characters. Like it never really strayed. Like I really like how I would never imagine you to be like the let's challenge to a fight, let's fight in the mouth of the Leviathan. It was like very different, but it was very unique to see that you're willing to go beyond, you know, like because this is the first time you're doing a fighter too, right?
Yeah.
So I really like that you're like a fighter wouldn't like hold back, like she would go in and do all that. So I think that's really, really unique. I like how Dan really fleshed out his character, even though it was a one-shot. Like he knew about a lot of previous people in his life that he would like brought up, so it was really interesting to hear his interactions. I mean, you're just a funny mess of really coolness, like your reactions, like Lava Jonathan or something, like it's really clever, and it's like you add that humor, and you like I took on the role of captain kind of nervous because I feel like you do have to have a lot of knowledge and charisma to kind of lead a team, and I am still learning how to play. So it was mechanically for me, I was able to kind of rely on you. Like at this point, I'm going to focus on fighting. I know you can manage the team. I'm going to do what I do best, which is be creative with how I can give our team an advantage. So that's why I dove into water and I like talked to you, and like I feel like I didn't need to tell you that. You just kind of knew, like where I'm weak, I'm going to try to be strongest. And I felt really comforted by that I didn't feel like that was my weakness. For once, like I just love big bossy fights that, like how you just went from 0 to 100, like, and it just showed up, you know what I mean? Like that was awesome. Like I want more of those where we know what's gonna happen, but in terms of the scale of it, like seeing how big it is and compared to the ship and everything, like definitely want more of that. Definitely.
All right, so for my stars and wants, I am definitely glad and massive stars to everyone to sticking to their character, faults and all. I really think that was a great way to showcase what you can achieve through interactivity in D&D. I really love the role play. I really love how everybody went from 0 to hero. And I really am glad that everybody took the time to give me a shot to do this one shot. My wants, I will definitely echo the want of everybody else. I have an absurd amount of large minis.
Yes.
I love running heists. I love running giant boss encounters. So that is definitely something that I really enjoy doing. So if this does end up going further on, I will definitely be able to drop more large minis on the table. With that, I want to thank everybody, and I will let you go ahead and close it out.
Yeah, I didn't prepare a closing, but I'll just genuinely say thank you so much to everyone that was watching, and thank you everyone. I just want to say thank you everyone that was watching, not only the podcast but also the video. This is our first official episode. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you stay tuned for more.
All right.
Ooh.
Bye bye.
See you later, guys.